Hey, welcome to this introduction of how to embody the masculine energy. If you're new to energy dynamics, it's known as polarity between masculine and feminine, otherwise known as the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. And that's what we're going to explore today is that polarity between the two. Each and every one of us has masculine and feminine traits and qualities and energy within us. So it's really the embodiment of those two things that is so important to determine which energy we are using on a consistent basis so that we can create that polarity, increase attraction between ourselves and our partner, and to live in alignment, integrity, and authenticity within ourselves. So we're going to answer quite a few questions today. The first three questions that we will answer are for the sacred masculine. What does embodiment feel like? What does being in alignment feel like? And finally, what does integrity feel like? And the reason that we want to ask these three questions is because the feminine energy is seeking those three things from the masculine. If we embody masculinity, authenticity, and integrity, it's going to create a safe place for the feminine to create life, which is their number one goal. The number one goal of the masculine is to seek presence in everything that they do. And that's one way to reflect upon yourself is, am I embodied? What does embodiment feel like? To clarify, an embodied masculine energy feels grounded and rooted in the present moment. If you ever get lost, if you ever get off track, that is the place to come back to. When we feel our most embodied selves, our most embodied masculine selves, we are going to feel very present, as if all distractions are eliminated in the moment. And oftentimes, in that polarity between the masculine and the feminine, we're going to feel that electric charge in the moment if we are staying present. When the masculine is embodied, it is an intensely satiating feel to the feminine. And that's what she craves. That's what she seeks. She's always going to be asking herself, am I safe? Is he present? And am I understood? So those are the reasons why we want to focus on unembodied sacred masculine energy. And let's focus a little bit on that, what embodiment feels like. Where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you feel it in your balls? Do you feel it in your feet? The chakra that runs directly down your body and through your center is where we want to focus that embodied feeling. When we are embodied, we are ultimately aware of everything that pulls us away from that centered place. We are aware of all distractions. Is that social media? Is that work projects? Is that family life? Is it a coworker? Is it self-doubt? All of these things are going to pull us away from the present moment. And the feminine is like a radar. They're going to pick up on that very, very quickly. So an embodied masculine energy is very attractive to the divine feminine energy. When our partners have that radar going on and they feel you out of the present moment, they're going to test you. They're going to test your central nervous system. They're going to test your resiliency. They're going to test your moral fiber in those moments to ask for your attention. Some people in the relationship coaching world call these shit tests. I like to call them emotional calls because that's truly what they are. They are a call from the feminine to the masculine energy in order to sit up straight, pay attention, and get present. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever felt a moment where you might be tuning into your feminine side and you want to bring up a conversation with your partner. And so therefore you're going to make an emotional call, but you will enter into your feminine energy in order to make that call, that moment where you're desiring a conversation with your partner. And that's completely natural. It's completely normal to switch between the masculine and the feminine energies, depending on the situation. But for the most part, if we're embodying our sacred masculine energy, it's going to create that polarity between the two of you and actually draw your partner into the space that you're creating. And that brings us to our next question. What does alignment feel like? And I like to define it by asking you to get very clear very clear on your intentions in your relationship, very clear on what you want out of life. This drives back to purpose. What is your purpose in life? And that is how we truly embody and feel alignment within us. The podcast for me is a very good example of how I am in alignment with my true purpose in this life. A few of my core values are growth, integrity, honesty, communication. All of these areas are places I can check in with my body and feel if I'm in alignment or not. If I hide the truth or if I tell a lie to my partner, I'm going to immediately feel that in my body of guilt, regret, shame. These are the shadow parts of ourselves that are hiding the things that we're ashamed of from our partners. And they're going to instantly pick up on it. And they're going to send you an emotional call or a test to see if you can remain grounded, stay present, and become rooted in alignment. And then finally, we want to ask ourselves, what does integrity feel like? If I'm out of integrity, it might be a case where I told a lie. It might be a case where I withheld the truth. When it comes to integrity for the sacred and embodied masculine, I like to refer back to this line as a mantra. Tell her the truth and let her decide what to do with it. This is the ultimate way that we can embody our masculine. When we tell the truth, we are in integrity with ourselves, we're in alignment with our purpose, and we are embodying the masculine energy that it takes to create a healthy polarity in our relationship with the feminine. And that could ultimately be the relationship that we have with the feminine in ourselves. Before I let you go for the day, I want to touch back on clarity. When a masculine energy has clarity in their life, they are clear on their purpose, they're clear on what alignment is for themselves, and they're clear on what integrity means to them through their core values. When a masculine energy gets clear, it becomes very attractive to the feminine. And in order to get very, very clear in your life and to become an embodied masculine person, I'd like you to ask these 3 questions of yourself. What do I want, and where do I want to take this in my life? This is all about your purpose. Defining our personal purpose will keep us in alignment, keep us integrous with ourselves, and keep our embodied masculine present and relatable to others. The second question I want you to ask yourself is related to relationships. Why am I here for that person? When we are embodied as the masculine, we are in service of others. We are in service to the feminine of the world. And that could be to one person in our partnership, or that could be to 10,000 people in our business. Why are we here for that person? And we can always reflect back on the Enneagram and understand that me as the challenger, when I am the best version of myself, I'm always rooting for the little guy. I'm always championing for the underdog, and I will go to the lengths of the end of the earth to show and prove that that is my personal mission. And finally, the question on clarity that I'd like you to ask yourself does reflect back on our relationships. What do I want from the person in my relationship? What are my needs? What are my desires? What are my wants? When we share that with our partner, we are no longer creating these covert contracts that Dr. Glover is talking about in No More Mr. Nice Guy. We are overtly asking for our needs to be met, and that is a truly embodied masculine trait. If you have absolutely any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out to me immediately. These are topics that I would love to discuss more frequently in our private virtual group meeting. So stay tuned for more videos much like this, recorded and sent directly to you. So thanks again for being a part of the community. Wishing you a happy holiday season and cannot wait to grow with you in 2021.